For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. O little child of uncertain faith, fragile mother, about to break, man of pride, the world upon your shoulders. But it's okay because the Savior has come. Oh, the Savior is here. Your healing has begun. Have no fear. Have no fear. Have no fear. Have no fear. As we cry, holy, holy, holy Lamb of God. Holy Lamb of God. As we cry, holy, 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 King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the promised child. Holy, the Lamb of God, the great I am. Holy One, all who believe upon the Son, strength be received to overcome. Grace and mercy, they will rest upon you every day, because the Savior has come. Yes, He has. The Savior is here, right now. Has begun. So have no fear. Have no fear. Have no fear. Have no fear. As we cry, holy, holy, holy Lamb of God, holy, holy, King of Kings, you're holy, Lord of Lords, you're holy, the Lamb of God, you are holy, the great I am. For unto us a child is born, a son is given, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, the Holy One, yeah. Joyful and triumphant, oh God, our Savior is born. Today, everybody sing, oh God, oh ye faith, joyful and triumphant, oh, our Savior is born, our Savior is born, oh, the Savior has come, the Savior is the Savior is here, healing has begun, has begun. Have no fear, have no fear, have no fear. Just came on early so we could check a couple of things out. Welcome everyone that is joining us today on the new platform. We're going to see how this goes. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but hopefully it will work out well. The other guys should be joining me soon. Hope you guys appreciate the new look. We are actually streaming live right now on Facebook, on my personal page, also on the LOL Radio TV page on Facebook, as well as the Living Out Loud Radio page on YouTube. So you are able to stream it from either platform. I would love for you guys to go over to YouTube right now and like and subscribe. We want to build our viewership, build our subscription base. Thanks, Lois. I see your comment there. For whatever reason, it's not letting me see the comments from my regular Facebook page. So I will check that out because I would love to put them on the screen. So it seems to be showing from the Living Out Loud Radio page as well as the YouTube page, but not my regular page. But we'll work on that as we go forward. But I appreciate you. Louisa, good to see you. Good afternoon to you as well. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for liking the song. That is a song myself and a friend of mine, Burnell Reed. He's an incredible producer. We did that song a few years ago, actually. So if you would like to get a copy, you can download it. Or actually, you do this. Actually, let me do this. If you'd like a copy of it, why don't you send me an email to lolradiotv@gmail.com. I'll forward it to you. You don't have to worry about downloading it. I'll send you the completed copy so you can add it to your list. And that's for anyone that's watching. Just shoot an email to lolradiotv@gmail.com. If you like the song, it's called The Savior is Here, or The Savior Has Come. I'm sorry. Love that song. I'm glad you appreciate it. And let's see, we are 3:54. So the guys should be joining me any moment now. Again, I appreciate you guys coming on. So again, it's Brothers Living Out Loud, Brothers Like Us, Living Out Loud Radio TV. It's just a place where we can come and share openly, honestly about life. You see behind me, music, family, faith, fun, love, health, all those things and everything in between. That's what we talk about. That's what we discuss. We try to have a balanced view on every subject that we approach. I'm actually looking to expand what we do on the Living Out Loud Radio TV show. So just keep looking out for the other things that we're going to post about mental health, how we maintain our mental health and our wellness and everything going forward. I know a lot of our discussion is really around faith, and that's just a part of who we are. We look at everything from a biblical lens, but we do discuss regular, everyday topics. That's what I love about this platform. You don't have to be a Christian to come and enjoy the conversations and enjoy what we're discussing, because we discuss it from a very practical, straightforward dynamic. We discuss it try to give practical application of not only the Word of God, but also how you get along in this world, how you deal with people, how you have to realize that, sometimes everybody's not going to love you, regardless of what you do, and admitting our faults and our mistakes. This is just what we do. Randy, I see you, man. Come on screen.
Um, and I'll let you on the platform. Let's see how it works. We're gonna see how it works, man. If it works well, great. If not, we'll do some tweaking and move forward from there. But I'm looking forward to this new platform, guys. I'm looking forward to interacting with you guys a little bit more. So I'm gonna tell you guys again, if you would go, if you have the ability, go over to YouTube to Living Out Loud. Let me show it on our YouTube page is Living Out Loud Radio. You can follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe and hit the bell so that anytime we go live, you will get a notification. You can comment there. We'll see your comments right here. We can share them. Also, if you go to our other Facebook page, not my personal page, but the LOL Radio TV Facebook page is streaming live there right now as well. And on that page, when you comment, I'll be able to see your comment. I'll be able to share it with the entire world, whoever's watching. And then the people that come on, all of my other co-hosts, as they come on, we can discuss it. Randy, what's going on, baby? Can you hear me? Let me see. I see you getting yourself together. I'm sorry. It's a new platform, so we're all scrambling a little bit here. But it looks good. I like your setup. Your setup, it looks good. I can't hear you yet, though. Nope, not yet. And I know Reggie said he'll be coming on a few minutes late. He has something else planned right for 4, but looking forward to him coming on. So when you signed up, it should have asked you if you to get access to your microphone and your camera. Clearly, you got the camera. Nothing. So I hear something when you try to talk, but it's like scramble, sort of like what you told me earlier today. So I don't know if you have to turn your volume up, maybe. Ah, Louisa, there you go. So this is how it works, Louisa. See how you left a comment on YouTube. Thank you for going over to YouTube for me. Please subscribe, become one of our subscribers. Hit the bell so you get notified every time we go live. I appreciate that. I really, really do. It helps the page to grow. It helps us to get our content out, and it helps us to make sure that we are, just expanding our reach. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Nope, I still don't hear you. Did it ask you to give access to your microphone? Make sure your volume's up on your device. It is. Awesome. Hey, Camilla, how you doing, sis? Love you, girl. I see you. Thanks for the comment. I love the way you guys support, man. It is so awesome. It's great. I don't think there's anything I could do on my side, Randy, to help you with your volume. It looks really good over I have it up on my screen, the YouTube link. It looks really good, guys. Bri, what's going on, baby? Hola. It's good to see you, man. So, Louisa, I see your comment. We're not on Zoom because we're testing out the new platform. And let me know, does Zoom work better for you? Does that make it easier for you to sort of see the show and interact with us? I was trying to expand it. I think because we're on 3 platforms, well, 2 platforms, but 3 pages, the Living Out Loud, LOL Radio TV on Facebook, and plus my personal page, Thurston O'Neill. And then on YouTube is going live. Nothing, Randy? So, Randy, try to go from your phone, because it worked with your phone, but now you're on a tablet, right? Or I wonder if you need earphones, like the things you use for the phone. There's our sister Patricia's on. Hello, 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 First Lady. I don't even know if you like that term, First Lady. We're gonna talk about that again. We're gonna talk about that some more. Again, while we're getting set up, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on and rocking with us. Love each and every one of you. And I'm gonna say again. So I see comments coming up from the other Facebook page. I see the angry face. I see the angry face. I think that was you, Patricia. So again, I'm gonna let you guys know. LOL Radio TV on Facebook. That's our other Living Out Loud page. And you can leave comments there and it'll pop up and I'll share it. And then on YouTube, it's Living Out Loud Radio. You go there, you can see the live stream. You can comment there. I can share your comments and your chat stuff right here on screen like I'm about to do here. Brian says, check your Bluetooth, Randy. I don't know if you have Bluetooth. Louisa said it's fine, no problem. She's good, whatever platform. That's great. Brian, we're good, man. We're doing wonderful. I like being able to see everybody's comments. This is great, and being able to share them with everybody. Let's see. Trisha, we are good. We are really, really, really good. Excellent. Okay, that wasn't you with the angry face, so you don't mind being called First Lady? Thanks, Louisa. She says, this is nice. I appreciate that. So, Randy, don't get frustrated and leave the show, man. Don't get frustrated, bro. Work it out. I know you, man. You're going to be like, I ain't got time for all this. Nope. I still hear a little fuzziness in the back. Brian says, worst case, restart your computer. I think you probably just worked it out because we were on together just earlier, right? Go ahead and work it out, bro. Okay, Patricia. I won't call you First Lady. I'm going to call you Patricia. I appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm with you 100%. Actually, Pastor just said last week, you know, just call me Darren, man. Yes, I know, Louisa. We definitely have to get Deacon Randy on. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He's going to work it out, I'm sure. He's going to work it out because we were just talking the other day. Mr. Wonderful's only lady. Yeah, I see y'all posting those PDAs on Facebook, man. I love it. Public displays of affection between the pastor and his woman. I love it. I know he's going to come on here preaching today. I was actually listening to him earlier, Patricia, as he was talking about y'all meeting. I think he said it was a brown, was it a Nova that he had? I think he was talking about and had to, I think, pick you up and take you somewhere. And he was hoping that it wouldn't, he was hoping that it wouldn't cut out on him. Listen, we've all been there, man. We've all been there. All right, Louisa, you're on both. Excellent. That's awesome. Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, this is wonderful. Kick and spit. So the beauty of this is being able to see everybody, share everybody's comment, and you guys can be a little more involved. My only concern, okay, hold on. Here's Randy again. Now I can hear you. Yep. You had to switch to your phone.
Nobody.
You had to switch to your phone, Randy? I can hear you. Yep. Yes, Vaughn. Okay, all right. We in the house. I like the tree, Vaughn, and the sweater, bro. You had to switch to your phone, Randy?
No, I'm still on my. I'm trying my iPad.
Okay. All right. Good.
I hear your guys fine.
I like the tree, Vaughn, and the sweater, bro. So I think that might be your audio. You may want to bring your audio down a little bit on your side, Randy, because it's feeding back into our. So I think that might be your audio. You may want to bring the audio down a little bit on your side, man. Yep. Can you still hear me, though, is the question. Vaughn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Trying to get out the kinks.
Yeah, we're just working them out, man. Randy, now I see that black box that you were talking about earlier. I wonder if it will come back. Now, we heard you fine just a minute ago. It was working great. Again, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us again. We're trying a new platform. We're going to see how this works out. Hopefully the stream is steady and you can hear us all, and we'll be able to add everybody on. There's Mr. Wonderful. There he is. How you doing, Pastor?
Hey man, I just walked by. I had to share. Hey Vaughn, you made it, huh? Who else is on?
Randy's on. He's trying to get his audio and video all together. So we're just working out a couple of kinks.
Yeah, so I walked by and I heard you talking about the kickings, but I was like, no, he is not.
Oh, I was listening to you earlier today, man.
I see.
You were telling your story, bro. I remember. I heard the Brown Nova.
My God.
Yeah, that actually brought back memories, man. I remember those Novas, bro. I remember the Novas, man.
Man, my aunt, when you talk to Gene, ask him about Aunt Esther. That was Aunt Esther's car. She gave it to me.
Wow.
It was my first car, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But it worked out. It was a great illustration piece for today.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I mean, as always, man. Yeah.
Praise God. Praise God.
Do you have photos?
Powerful word.
Do I have a photo?
Do you have photos? That's perfect when you tell a story.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
No, not of that one, man. I don't know if I want anybody to see that, man. There he is. There's the
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right.
All right. Awesome. All right, we're getting it together, man. We're working out the kinks. Can you guys see when I share these little messages on the screen?
Contact us.
Yep, contact us, all of that.
Yeah,
And then when I take it away, you'll see your names listed. You should see that pop up momentarily. Then your name will be in the boxes. So listen, I like the platform so far. It's just a matter of if the stream is going to be steady, if we can get our audio and all of that stuff together. So that'll work out well. So how was everybody's week, man? How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Preparing, as you see, getting ready.
I see.
I try to have my Grinch on, but the family is forcing me out of it.
Oh, really?
So we got the tree up. I even did a little painting. I had one of those what do you call it? Yay makers.
Oh, really?
And I did my what you call it? Who do you call it? Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I did my little painting class.
I like it a lot.
Adrian is forcing me out of my bah humbug.
Yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean, man. This Christmas is going to be a little different for us. I really have to put some work in because we're getting some work done at the house. It was supposed to be done before Christmas, and now it looks like it's going to extend beyond. So we're sort of, working out the kinks here at home also, not just on the show.
What do you haven't done?
The kitchen. We're having the kitchen redone. And it's coming out really, really nice, man, but it just won't be totally complete. We will have the stove hooked up. So we'll be able to cook and eat and all of that stuff. And the thing is, we had put the Christmas tree up and then we slid it over to move it out of the way for the contractors. Now it's behind all the stuff. So I'm gonna have to dig through, take it out, put it in another room where we can really enjoy it and put some presents under and all of that stuff. So we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works out, man. But other than that, man, everything's good. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you so much. Says congratulations. So, Randy, how was your week, man?
interesting. I mean, I'm off from work for a while. Being
Okay.
at the, so other than that, it was quiet.
Okay.
Quiet,
All right. Good.
I think because of this Christmas, I'll be a little more richer,
Yeah, you don't have to spend as much. So wait, Rachel doesn't have you out in stores and stuff with her?
No. Listen, we done past that stage. We now it's about gift cards. I ain't trying to find nobody nothing. We throw some money on a card
And let them get what they want to get.
And you get what you want to get.
Right.
That ain't happening. And we all agreed in just, I would say, immediate family. Within my whole family, we just take care of immediate family. We ain't trying to go here and swim money on brothers and sisters and cousins. None of that. It's just an immediate household. So we just all take care of one another. And like I said, my kids are now like 34, 30.
Right. So you give them some money and they're good. Yeah. It's funny. I'm sorry, I cut you off, dude. Go ahead.
Or either they tell us, I want this, and then we'll just go ahead.
Right.
And that'll be about it. So we good.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because Erica and I was just talking the other day. Now, Erica goes hard. She tries to remember every single person. And she is shopping until the last minute. She's online. Run me to Target real quick. I think they got so-and-so. It's crazy. But this is the funny thing. So, Erica has she's the youngest of 6. She has 2 sisters. She has 3 brothers. And this is what we realized the other day. We never buy anything for the brothers. The sisters will get gifts. The nieces and nephews and stuff will get gifts. But the uncles or the brothers, they don't really get gifts. Do you guys get gifts from family?
No. My kids get gifts from family.
Exactly. Right. Right. Exactly.
My kids, on occasion I might see something with my name on it, but it's usually your kids. Your kids take over the mantle of gifts from you.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what? I just realized something. One of my wife's brothers, he sends these I don't know what you call them. It's like this I guess you can. It's like a food tray or a food package. Like meats and cheeses and that kind of thing. He sends it every year. I just realized.
Nice.
Every year, he and his wife. His wife is actually from Thailand. She's Thai.
Oh wow.
So and that's another thing. I really literally have an international family. Literally. Nice. My older brother, he's married to a young woman, precious woman from Mexico. And so then my wife's brother and his wife, my wife's uncle, I think his wife is Italian or something like that. Okay. So my kids really have this. They really have this cross-cultural thing that's happening. Right. But anyway, yeah, he sends us something every year. But other than that, my thing is the kids are adults now. Christmas is done. Right. Right. And hats off to the deacon that he still, is even entertaining. I'm like, nah, man. Listen, I gave y'all Christmas while y'all was kids. Now,
like I said, the thing is, I don't even think it's even a gift card anymore. We just go right to our phones and just press cash and send. I don't even look for a card anymore.
Oh yeah. Used to dress it up more pretty, a card, and
I ain't going through all that. Like I stop wrapping gifts.
Right.
Gifts because I'm telling you, I'm not spending all this money on a gift and then you just rip my $5.
Adrian will tell you the story about how I wrap gifts because we'll go through this every year. Do we have wrapping paper? I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, we have wrapping paper because I'm going to put it in a pillow cloth. whatever newspaper is left over. I am not spending money on gift wrapping paper.
I hear you, dude.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It'll be in a sheet. It'll be in whatever.
So if I generally do have to wrap gifts, and I can be rather meticulous about it. Like you know, I want to make sure everything is straight, and you know the tape is the right way, and you know, then as other people are rapping with me, I'm snatching the thing. No, that's not right. You got to do it like blah 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 blah. Getting on people's nerves. I know I do. But you know, for our house, you know, I have 4 daughters and a wife, so of course, Christmas is never gonna end for me. And even though I may not get gifts from outside of my house, I think I'll always get gifts because I have 4 daughters. They're always going to, you know, find something to give to dad. So I love it, man. I love it.
Well, listen, man, I have 3 daughters.
Okay.
And at some point it stops.
So maybe once they get married and they get hooked up and I'm not the main man no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own children that they have to worry about.
Yeah, actually, I shouldn't say that because my youngest daughter, she still lives with us, and she's kind of into it, so she will get something. But the 2 oldest daughters, man, they got their own, like you said, they're married, got their own households, and so now they're trying, because Christmas is really for the kids. To be honest.
It is absolutely
For the kids, and so now they're trying to, you know, make it happen and that kind of thing. And with me being a student, you know, this is my break. So I am not worried about giving nobody no gifts. I'm worried about, you know, getting my head together. Let me tell you something, man. So here's what my week was like. I still have 1 professor. The semester ended the 8th. This guy has yet to turn in the final grade.
Wow.
And I'm so concerned about him, man. I'm gonna call the school and find out, hey, is the guy still living? And you know, because it's like in this day and age, you know, you wonder. Right?
Right? You never know. You're absolutely right.
So I'm like, technically for me, mentally and emotionally, school is not over until I get this final grade. And you know, everybody that comes through Hofstra has to pass a written proficiency exam.
Okay.
So my advisor last summer, I mentioned it to him and he said, you got time, don't worry about it. But last week I heard so clearly, no, don't wait. Get in touch with those folk and find out if you can do this thing during this break. And that's exactly what I did, man. And one phone call led to another. And the representative from the writing center sent me the link. She said, you know what? You can do this online. You can do it remotely. And so that's what I did Friday. So I'm still kind of in school mode because now I want to seize the momentum.
Right.
Keep it going. So that next December, I get on here with the blue cap.
Oh, we're going to have a graduation party,
right.
Bro. We're going to have a graduation party on here, man.
Sunday with the blue cap, with the tassel.
Yes.
I'm not throwing my cap up in the air. No, I'm keeping all my stuff, man. I'm keeping all my stuff.
All right. So, interesting question. So next December, graduation comes. Graduation falls on a Sunday. Are you having a guest speaker at your church?
Most definitely.
Okay. All right, baby.
Most definitely, man.
I love it, man. I love
what makes you think your whole congregation is not coming to
they're gonna be there. You know,
I was gonna say I'll probably have to shift the worship encounter to graduation.
Right. Right.
And then just ask the school, just let me have 5 minutes.
No, I was just about to say, you know, you can't get up there preaching during graduation, Pastor. You know you can't do that.
I'll give him a little something, you know. Study to show yourself approved. I'll give him a little something. I got a little something. If I can't get it, I'll call up the deacon the night before. What you got? Give me something, man.
I love it, man. I love it.
No, but you know what? If we haven't learned anything else, well, we should have. As far as the church is concerned, from this COVID experience, and God has really been trying to tell us for a long time. Just for whatever reason, we wasn't reading the memo. But if we don't get now that going forward, church really has to be beyond walls. You're done.
Yeah, man.
You're done.
Yes.
You're done. And I'm not saying, some people are going so far as to say, well, there'll never be church buildings again. I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't agree either.
And I think that's ludicrous, especially when you look at the scriptures. The synagogue was there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
However, the problem is we became so self-absorbed and so insular that we violated the most basic principle that was given to us from the beginning, which is what? Go into all the world. Okay. And so now you had no choice.
Right.
No choice. And so what I think now, I think anybody who's leading any kind of congregation has to really be thinking about how you could significantly increase your outreach and bring the experience of what church is beyond the walls. I'm not saying
right.
I'm not saying we're knocking them down. We're not gonna have any more, because that's another extreme. But what are you gonna do beyond it?
Right.
How are you gonna present this thing? And listen, man, I just all I need is 5 minutes. That's all I need.
I know. This is the thing. This is the thing, Darren. I think God, like you said, God has been telling us this for a long time. So I remember, I don't think it didn't affect me personally, but I remember friends that were not able to participate in sporting events or teams if they had games on Sundays. They would have to miss games because they needed to be in church. Some people turned down good jobs because they didn't have the option of being off on Sundays. So I understand that people, want to be in the house of God, but like you said, we have to get, I believe, and again, I don't want to put all of this on everybody, but it's just my belief, man. We have to view this whole church experience differently, and really look at the word of God for what it truly is. Look at context, who the author is, who the audience is for specific scriptures, to get the true meaning of it, because I truly believe that we are missing out on a lot. We're missing out on a lot because we're so stuck in that one mode. Or we have been. I believe we're coming out. Is that you, Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you popped up over here on the other one. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Pastor. Now let me go here. Adrian, Adrian said, "Don't get me started. Vaughn is speaking the truth. I have to wrap the gifts." That's what she said. So Adrian, if you join, if you go over to our other page, you see it on the screen, LOL Radio TV on Facebook, and you leave a comment there, I'll be able to show it on the screen. So I won't have to read it out. I'll be able to show everybody. You could do that on LOL Radio TV on Facebook or on our YouTube page, which is Living Out Loud Radio. And let me show you that here.
One of the things you guys were talking about, how you don't have to buy gifts for everybody. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet where we just buy gifts for only the people in the house. We're trying to get there. Adrian and I have that discussion every year. This year we're going to tell everybody, we have such a large circle of friends just at CCC alone.
Right.
We have so many friends who are like, everybody's our uncle or our cousins, or like they're like our brothers and the sisters.
Yep.
And there's such a large group of kids who are and our kids, they all think they're siblings, including Thurston's kids.
Absolutely. Yep.
So every year we have this discussion about we're not going to do it. I know how close we are with the O'Neills. I know how close we are with the Codys.
Right,
I know how close we are with the
right.
Cochrans. But this year we're going to just tell everybody, we have that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And then every year we still wind up losing our minds anyway.
Listen, those bills pile up, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm just going to get this $5 gift. I'm just going to get that $5 gift. When it's all said and done.
Exactly.
But, we did better this year, but we still are.
Like I said, Erica, he doesn't stop. And so I think for us, Vaughn, because of the age of our children, we're probably stuck in this mode for a little longer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because so Brittany, she's late 20s. We still get her gifts. We try, and this is the thing with Brittany. Brittany is so thoughtful about the type of gifts that she gives to us and the girls. Like, she really gives gifts that speaks to the individual person. We can't just give her cash. Like, we have to put some thought into it. We really, really do. And it's not easy. It's not easy to.
But do she use it?
She does. She does.
Whatever you get.
Listen, a few years ago, we bought her because she's into baking and creating. She's like, she's artistic and she likes creating things. We bought her. What are the Vaughn, Adrian would know? What are the big mixers that have all the different attachments? And
I got one sitting in here.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name of it.
Man, she loves that thing so much, man.
Yeah.
Everywhere she goes, wherever she moves, she makes sure she has that thing with her because it just spoke to us. It's a bright red one. I saw yours. What color is yours, Vaughn?
Ours is burgundy.
Yes.
Adrian said KitchenAid.
Deep red. Kitchen.
Yeah.
KitchenAid.
And she loves it, man. So putting thought into things like that, man, it really makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that KitchenAid mixer, Andrew dropped it on his foot last.
That thing is heavy.
Yes, thank God it didn't break anything, but I had to take him to I tried to take him to urgent care. The line was wrapped around the building for people taking COVID tests.
Wow.
So instead, I took him to the Children's Hospital, and we were there for about 3 hours as they looked at, first of all, they took us through such a ordeal of just asking us questions, asks us a bunch of same questions over and over again. Mm-hmm. We get through that person, they take us up about 10 feet further to get the same list of questions.
Wow.
We were asked the same questions about 3 times, and then they took us into a room where somebody else came in and asked us the same questions. and we were there about 3 hours for them
trying to
look
see
them over the X-ray.
See if you broke your son's foot.
Exactly. Well, that too. They also want to make sure I didn't do anything.
Right. Exactly. Make sure that story don't change.
But after 3 hours, they came back in to tell me, "Oh, his foot hurts." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Wow.
But it wasn't broken, thank God. So
we appreciate it. All right. That's
good, man. They're so busy screening for COVID, you'll die from what you went there for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's bananas. So I mean, so speaking of that, we sort of put out feelers about things we should talk about, and we got a lot of responses. So we have a lot of things to dive into. We won't get to all of them today, clearly, but the big story now is the vaccines are coming. People are starting to get them. So this is the thing. I think, and I think we spoke about this briefly before, right, on one of the other shows. Erica and I do also, but I've been being very diligent about trying to sit still. We want to travel, man. We want to go somewhere. But we've been very diligent about trying to sit still, being safe, because of especially when the numbers started going back up. Are you guys ready to take the vaccine when it becomes available to us? Or, yeah, I see you, Pastor. I see you. Randy, how about you? Not necessarily, no. Vaughn?
Well, my thought is this. There's going to be some time before I have a chance to take it. They actually had something online. I think ABC News or CBS has something online where you can put in your information. They ask you questions and you answer the questions, and they tell you about what phase you would be able to get to take the. You have the availability to take the vaccine, and I was so far down the list.
Right.
I was so far down the list that I don't expect it would be somewhere till late spring or going into the summer where my turn would even come. Okay. So by that time, there should be quite a few people, who have taken it, and we'll see if they've grown 3 heads or not. Yeah.
The thing that amazing to me.
No bueno.
The thing that amazing to me is how much they are trying to push it into Black and brown communities. And I mean they understanding that why. They learning to see why now because of everything that's been coming out of the systematic racism and all this stuff. But they kind of like, you got to understand that, you know, the way that we've been treated for so many years and generations and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So when COVID first hit, we couldn't get tested. There were no testing sites nowhere.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you got a vaccine, and now you want us to go be the first one to take it.
Well, they said, I saw something online this week or on television where they said 33% of Black people or African Americans were saying that they wouldn't, you know, that they're reluctant to take the vaccine.
Okay.
I was saying that's because they only asked 33%. if they asked everybody else
would be saying the same thing.
So, but I'm careful not to discourage anybody from taking it, because
me too, Vaughn. Me too. Absolutely.
Because, you know, if we're gonna ever get back to any sense of normality, we're gonna need a vaccine that works. So we're gonna need vaccines and whatever else, so that, you know, we can actually get back out and get back to some sort of normal lifestyle. So I'm praying that this vaccine is good. I mean, you know, the physicians or the doctors, the scientists are saying as well. And if you saw our service today, Mark Wade, Dr. Mark Wade from CCC, who actually head of health over in Newark, New Jersey. He was also, you know, speaking on behalf of the scientists that, you know, that the vaccine is good. But, you know, everybody has their reasons for being cautious. So
I think in a couple of years, it might even make it mandatory. Like anything else.
Yeah, I think after
so. After a while, when I went through the trial tribulations and stuff like that, they will make it mandatory that people will get the vaccine in order for you to be able to do anything.
I can see it definitely being like the flu, where you can't work some certain places if you don't have your flu shot every year.
Right. You know, it's kind of interesting when we talk about the community of people of color of African descent. Two things that concern me. Number one, I was very disturbed by the statement that was made by, I think it was Dr. Fauci, that people of color should take the vaccine because somebody of color worked on it.
What?
Yeah, you guys about that?
Yeah. I didn't hear that. No.
Yeah. I was like, what is that all about?
Right.
That was he's trying to promote her.
Yeah, because so why didn't you say, you know, a person of whatever who worked on it, their people should take it? What is that all about? And see, when I hear things like that, I'm like, red light, something's up here. The second thing is, there were some serious health challenges that was already in our community, which is an established fact that people with predisposed health conditions were much more vulnerable and susceptible to contracting this virus, and the issues that came along with it. So if the hypertension, the diabetes, the obesity, and these other things, which have been problems in our community for years, are still there, why are we not also addressing those, and perhaps even taking a much more holistic approach to, okay, you know what? How about we just get in a better habit of, or get in a better condition of practicing much more holistic lifestyle habits, okay?
Right.
Our diet, exercise. You know, we stopped eating pork. And I don't want to step on.
I was going to say, cut him off. Cut off his mouth.
Okay.
Listen, I hear you.
We out there. So we out there. So just throw the oars away. We're gonna just let the raft drift. We already out there, okay?
Yes. So I'm with you.
We stopped eating pork 25 years ago. Okay. I haven't had a soda in 30 years.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me see. What's some of the other stuff we've done? Cow-based milk I haven't had like 25 years. Okay. This April, I'll be vegan 4 years. And people will look at me and they don't believe I'm going to be 58 years of age. Okay. I work out consistently, being vegan. I have this other weird thing that I do. It's weird. Okay. But I don't drink when I eat. I either drink an hour before or an hour after each meal.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Lord. What's the benefit of that?
Well, here's what happens. When you consume liquid while you're eating, it disturbs the digestive process of your food and creates this thing called fermentation, which leads to weight gain and all other issues. Your food does not digest naturally on its own the way it needs to. And there's so many things we've been told in our culture, we've been conditioned, well, you got to have something to drink while you eat. No, you don't. It's really here, the discipline. So my concern is, okay, we're getting worked up about, people taking the vaccine, but these other issues, they didn't go away. They didn't go away miraculously.
They didn't. So
what are we going to do about that?
So for me, and you guys see the question, we're gonna come to that, Louisa. And Louisa, can you share the other comment that you shared earlier? You shared it on Facebook on my regular page, but can you share it on YouTube or the LOL radio page so I can share that on screen as well? But so this is the thing, Darren. This is what we talk about in the social justice circles and equity circles about, yes, COVID did shine a light on those pre-existing conditions. That light should also shine on the reasons for those, because yes, we do have a personal individual responsibility, but it also goes to the lack of fresh food in our communities, the lack of good education and jobs in our communities that will give us the ability to, because like you say, you have been diligent about what you eat, how you eat. That takes, listen, I know it takes a lot of discipline to do that, especially long-term, a lot of discipline, but it also takes and I think it's probably getting better now, but think about how many years you said you've been doing it?
Which one? Which part?
Like, vegan.
Well, it's going to be 4 years in April.
Oh, hold on. I think Reggie's here. Oh, Reggie's here. Excellent. I didn't see you, Reg. Sorry about that, man. Here you go.
Reg.
So
4 years, it'll be this April, 4 years vegan.
Okay, so I think it's getting better, but it also takes more money to get the things that you need to maintain that lifestyle. And go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the interesting thing is, I'm not swimming in dollars.
I know. Okay? I know.
And we, with being a student, and one of the elders just said to me, he had told me earlier, he said, Pastor, I really admire you. You have radical faith. For you to walk away from the job you had, talking about God told you to go to school. He said the first time he heard it, he told his wife, I don't think Pastor heard from God. I don't think he heard from God. But now he's seeing. So the point I'm making is, and you kind of alluded to it, Thurston, when you mentioned the D word, discipline. Yeah. And at some particular point in time, this may sound radical, and I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. But at some particular point in time, when are we going to decide to take our own power, make some tough choices, make some tough decisions, discipline ourselves, and rework some things so that the disadvantages that we experience can actually be turned into advantages? Because you're right, it is more expensive to engage in a healthier lifestyle. But here's one of the things we talked about in school this year was the opportunity cost of something. what does an opportunity cost you? And what I have learned, for every dollar more I got to spend being a vegan, that's less dollars I'm giving to the medical doctor.
Absolutely.
And what happens is it actually becomes more valuable because there's other things that come along with conventional allopathic medicine as opposed to a holistic approach. All right. So I may be sacrificing some stuff on the front end, but I'm gaining much more on the back end.
No doubt. No doubt.
So when to your point about equity and social justice, at some particular point in time, we're gonna have to realize we're gonna have to go and get it ourselves.
And this is how I respond to that. And Louisa, we haven't forgotten about you. That's why I left your question on the screen. We're gonna come back, right?
So, person, one quick second. There's a white thing on the screen.
Can
you see that? There's a white thing that says something about a private chat on the screen. Do you see it?
I don't see it.
I think that was when Reg was trying to come in.
Saying he was coming in.
Yeah, but it's still there.
Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it on the main screens. You probably see it on your private screen.
Yeah, you can reduce it, I think.
Yeah, you can reduce it. You could put it down.
I'm trying.
So
okay, there it is. Thank you.
So this is the thing. And it may not seem this way. One of the things Erica talks about a lot is privilege. Mm-hmm. Many of us, we see life. So we think when we talk about like white privilege and stuff, it's only white people have this privilege over black people, but privilege really permeates every part of our lives, right? So I have ability privilege. I don't think about how I'm going to get into this building when I go there. I don't worry about, do they have ramps? I don't worry about, are the doors wide enough? Because I have ability privilege. I may have the simple ability to be able to travel and go on vacation whenever I want, or not whenever I want, but I mean, I don't have that much privilege, but to be able to go on vacation once a year or once every 2 years, that's privilege, because some people never leave their immediate community. I mean, they live in their community without even seeing 2 towns over because they don't have that privilege. They've never had that ability. So when we talk about, I'm very careful because it's such a fine line, Pastor. We do have to have discipline, and we do have to do the things that are necessary for us. But then my mind goes to, that's exactly what they did in Tulsa. They got all of their resources together, and they built this community, and they built this wealth, right? And it was just bombed. It was just taken away, and no one was held accountable because they saw growth and they just took it away. So there's a tremendous amount of individual responsibility, but it's systemic changes have to be made so that we have these things readily available to us so we can make those good choices for our family. A mother that has 4 children maybe she was working and she got laid off. So now she has to say, okay, how am I going to feed my children? There's no fresh fruit in the community. There's nowhere for her to get fresh food, good, healthy food at a reasonable price. So you know what she does? She's going to buy the food that's going to feed her children, even though it may not be good for them. And then they grow to appreciate that food, to like the way that food tastes, because you know that mother is going to make it so where they're going to enjoy it. And they grow up eating those things. And it's not so easy to turn it off. And you are talking from a place of maturity and wisdom. But a 13, 14-year-old doesn't have that maturity or that wisdom that you have gained over the years. Now, it is a part of another part of our responsibility to teach that to the younger generation. Absolutely. But along with that teaching, along with that discipline, they have to have the opportunities to make those choices, to make those choices a little bit easier and not have to struggle. Well, if I want to eat healthy, I have to take a bus 3 towns over to where there's healthy food, and then struggle to get back to my house. And by the time I get there, it's late and the kids haven't done their homework. Or it's so many things that go into it. So that's why. And again, that is not to say that we do not have a responsibility. We have a tremendous responsibility. We have a tremendous responsibility to make good choices, to teach our children how to make those choices, but also to hold people in leadership accountable to provide the opportunity for us to make better choices for ourselves. And I know I've rambled on and on and on, and I'm sorry. And just quickly, so Louisa, when we talk about a brown community, we're talking about a community that is majority Black and brown, African American, or people of color. BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color. So that is Black, Hispanic, Latino, communities. That's the brown communities that we're talking about. I'm sorry, guys. Jump right in. Anybody? And
I just wanted to respond. I often think about the challenges, especially our women that are the leaders of what I call unique. They are the leaders of uniquely headed households. I'm big on terminology and labels, man. I don't like single parent homes.
I got you.
To me, the word comes with a stigma, and I'm actually the product of one. Okay? I don't know if Gene ever told you, but my mother raised these 6 boys and this 1 girl on social services.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's how we were raised. Things happened between her and dad. She left him when I was 9 years old. And she said she left. She ran for her life because things had gotten so bad that she was contemplating murder-suicide. She was going to kill her kids and then take her life because the reason why she was going to kill us was because she did not want her children to have to go through life without her, because at the time she didn't think she could trust dad, with the place he was at.
Right.
Later on, he got it together. That's another discussion. Okay. Because I actually wound up preaching his eulogy. I did his funeral.
Ooh.
Okay. So it does get better, but in the meantime, she had to make a decision. And so she decided, she said one day she was banging a hammer and she was going to hit him over the head. And she came to herself, what are you doing? And she decided, I'm going to run for my life. And she grabbed us and she said the only thing she had was the underwear on her body and 2 quarters. She hitched a ride with her youngest sister down in Brooklyn, never looked back. But she had to make do what she had to do. And she raised us on public service.
Right.
Right. Now, just to show you, the place where I come from, because sometimes when you hear someone like me say what I say, sometimes it tends to come across, okay, this individual's never had to deal with this. Okay?
No, not at all.
So I just want to just show you where I'm coming from. Things were so tight and so rough that mom would give us white rice with every meal.
Wait, white rice with what?
Every meal.
Wow.
And as a young lad, I made 2 promises to myself. The first promise was I would never walk out on my wife and kids.
The
second promise is there will not be any white rice in my house.
Those are 2 extremes.
White rice is outlawed as a young lad because I got tired of it with every meal.
Right.
Every meal. And I didn't realize what was going on at the time. I didn't realize this woman was literally pulling 2 girls together to feed these 6 greedy boys and this 1 girl. I didn't get, because man, we have voracious appetites.
Of course.
Okay? Voracious. And so she was doing the best that we could. But in my mind, there would be no. So when my wife and I got together, and the first time she cooked a meal for me as an engaged couple, she was asking, well, what do you like? And everything white she named, not allowed. She named noodles, mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Not allowed. She was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Randy's laughing. Man, let me tell you something. And so why did I say that? Because when I look at my situation and at other situations that are similar to it, at some particular point in time, there's going to be something that if you can grab a hold to it, that'll be the catalyst for you to begin to make the decision. It's got to be different.
Right. So this is my question. Do you remember at what age that happened for you?
I was 9 years old. I'll never forget it.
But when did you have the ability to not only decide that, but to actually put it in place? Because at 9 years old, you still got to eat what mom is feeding you, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. I made the decision at 9, okay? And I kept saying to myself, every time she would put that, I would get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble when she's watching this thing, okay? Every time she would put that plate, I mean, some days we were privileged to have steak. It was still white rice.
Wow.
Some days, more days, it was fish sticks. Okay?
Right, right.
Randy, you remember fish sticks?
Yes, sure do.
Come on, man.
I sure do.
Oh, I remember fish sticks. Absolutely.
Okay, so Vaughn, I know you got the white stuff, but I know you young, so I don't. So if it was fish sticks, some days, I'm going to be real because this is how we talk, right? Because one of the ways we're going to help each other is show the wounds.
Absolutely.
Show the wounds. Okay. Thomas told Jesus, he told the fellas, I won't believe until I see the wounds. And Jesus met him where he was. He accommodated him. He said, here they are, Thomas. Now don't be faithless, but be believing. So show the wounds. Some days, mommy gave us rice, beans, and eggs. That's how tight it was, man. And so every time that plate would come in front of me, okay, from the time I was 9 years old, obviously I couldn't do anything about it at 9 years of age.
Right.
But every time I saw that plate, I would say to myself, is this not going to be? Not gonna be? And that's what carried me from the place. It closed the gap between the decision and the ability to do something about it.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
So now let me just tell you, some eggs and rice fried up really good, seasoned up nice. Oh, I used to love that, dude.
Sounds like Chinese food
every day, but it was good when I had it.
But see, now I'm vegan, so it ain't helping me now, right?
Go ahead, Randy. Reg. What's up, man?
Go ahead.
This is good. I want to jump in. I want to kind of go back on the expense of eating well, right? I used to subscribe to that same belief. You know, I'm not a vegan. I've been really trying to push myself towards that direction, but I've cut out a lot of things over the years since I've gotten sick, maybe 4 years also.
Okay.
But I'll never forget something that the Lord showed me. When I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I could have died, right? It was that serious. My blood sugar was at 608, something like that. And my wife took me to the hospital. I had lost significant weight. I was urinating every 5 minutes, but I refused to go to the hospital. I was sick for like almost a week and a half before I actually went to the hospital. But I was losing weight. I was still going to work, but I had no energy to do anything. And you know, I'm a very energetic person. Anyway, my wife takes me to the hospital. I get diagnosed. They tell me the changes I have to make, and they put me on penicillin. They put me, you know, you got to shoot yourself.
Right.
Or whatever. And I remember how low I felt for being in that position.
Wow.
And I used to drink a lot of juice, and people used to, it's hereditary. I knew what I was doing to my body, right? And I remember after going home and getting all this, I had to get the medicine, and some of my insurance didn't cover it. So I felt the expense, right? And I'm laying in bed with Monique one night, and I'm heavy with depression. And I'm thinking, man, because I was being out sick, man, I was away from the kids for a while, couldn't have rehearsal. I felt like I was letting everybody down from being sick, right? And also I was talking to God, and I said, God, this is expensive, right? And he led me, I was just open up the word to the book of Job, right? Not Job, I'm sorry, Jonah.
Uh-huh.
And remember when God spoke to Jonah the first time, told him to go to Nineveh. And Jonah disobeyed God and went the other direction. He went to Tarshish, right? But part of the text that I never
paid attention to until that time. I'm laying in the bed reading the text, and it's kind of to answer what Pastor just said, to agree, but also to get us to change our language about expense. That gets us in trouble. It says that Jonah got on the boat and he paid his own fare to get on that boat. And God said to me, we pay our own fare for disobedience, and that fare is more higher than obedience. The fare for disobedience is higher than the fare of obedience. So when we say to ourselves, it's more expensive to stay healthy, no, it's not. It is more expensive to be sick. It's more expensive to be sick, not just financially, but relationally. When you're out of order and you can do something about it and you don't, it's a cost to your family. It's a cost to your relationship. It's a cost to your ministry. It's a cost to your job. So that's something I had to learn. It may be true that you can afford a lot of things, but it doesn't mean that you can't still have the lifestyle that you choose to have by eating healthy, right? But the other part of that, the other side of it, to your point, Thurston, is we got to do a better job. When you talk about privilege, man, privilege is a double-edged sword as well, right? Because we have privilege to things that we shouldn't take advantage, or how do I say? We take inappropriate advantage of, right?
Right.
I'm a minister at my church. I'm well known, so there's privileges that I have, but I don't take advantage of.
Right.
I don't do it. It's not that. It's not right. You know what I mean? I've never done that. I've always been that type of a person. I like to be in the trenches with everybody else, even though some of those privileges could work out where I can help more people. But I'm like, I have to be appropriate with the decisions I make, right? So, and I'm talking about like us as people, like understanding of each other, right? And the last thing I'll say is, so when you talk about the family unit in terms of like, Pastor Darren made that decision at 9 years old, and that's beautiful, right? But you talked about the process between the decision and the reality, right? It varies from different people.
Right.
I didn't change. There's some things I knew I didn't want. I didn't want to be like my father when I was my father was treacherous, and I knew I didn't want to be like him when I was a kid. But I didn't actually live that out until after I got saved in my 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I had to go through a long process of actually being like him and hating myself. To going through, I had to go through what I had to go. Everybody has their own journey. Our prayer should be, though, and I agree with you, Thurston, man. Like, when you think about, and I agree, like with the single household, that title, that label. And the truth of it, when I think of it, I think about my mom who came from Haiti. She did not know English when she came to America. You know how she learned English? She used a privilege. She used my privilege. When I started going to school at 4 or 5 years old, she would wait till I come home and learn English from me doing my homework.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
My mother told me that when I got older. She said I had to learn English through you. So, so there's privileges that we have, but we don't see them because we're too busy looking at what we think privilege is for other people. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all of these things, but the one thing I'll say for sure is that we have to change our thought process when it comes to expenses, right? What's worth more? Being sick or being healthy? Being healthy will cost you, but not so much just money. It'll cost you discipline. You gotta discipline yourself. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't drank juice. I tell you, I was notorious. I would never think I love juice, right? I haven't had juice in 4 years. All I drink is water. I don't drink no soda. I don't do just water. I still gotta work on other things. I still love my bread. You know what I'm saying? I still love my burgers and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? We go through these processes. We still have to overcome all these different hurdles, and we still have to educate ourselves. And, we still have parents who may not know. We have children who are teaching their parents who, we're living in the age of information. Our parents didn't have all the information that we have today, right?
Right.
And so anyway, I just wanted to kind of.
No, I love that. I love that, and it's preaching to me, man. It really is, because even though we occupy this space of speaking up for those that can't speak up for themselves or that are not recognized when they speak, just like what you just said, I enjoy a certain amount of privilege, and I have not disciplined myself in the way that I should to make sure that I'm not drinking the juices and eating healthy. Now, Erica makes healthier meals for me. I love it. And my mindset is changing, but I honestly, guys, in all honesty, and we're transparent here, right? I have the ability to do much better, but I have not done better simply because, and when you talk about the effect to your family and to your job and all of that, it really comes down to selfishness. Like it really does. I mean, when you boil it all down, it comes down to selfishness, because I personally don't have to travel or walk or take a bus to get these things that I need. I can jump in my car, go and buy them, bring them home, cook them, and enjoy a healthier lifestyle. But I haven't done that. And so, being transparent, man, I haven't done the things that I need to do. And this is something that Erica speaks to me about. And I don't want to have to go to the hospital and get diagnosed before I make the change. In all honesty.
Can I share one more thing? You're absolutely right, because there's two things that shook me up in my life. Two things. One was a person who I knew very well who was diagnosed with the same thing I had and used it in me. But his was, he was severe. It was severe for him, right? He had a foot amputated and stuff like that. And then he was hospitalized, but he refused to change. That shook me up. I couldn't understand why. Like, I went to see him and I said, yo, for your family, if not for you.
Right.
And I don't want to preach doom or anything like that, but for him, it was severe. The doctor said, yo, this is going to kill you if you don't change.
Wow.
You're eating. And he refused to change. And I had another friend who was a close friend of mine growing up. Same thing. We're the same age. He had came to see me on my birthday weekend. This was some years ago. And he had called me, says, I'm in town. I'm going to hang out. We were making all these plans, but then he disappeared. Like, I couldn't find him. And his brother called me and said, hey, he didn't want to tell you, but he's in the hospital. And so I found out what hospital he was at. He was embarrassed because he knew my story. Same thing. He was somewhere with his wife. And I think he also had a severe, case. And he ended up in the hospital. I had to have the same conversation with him, and he listened. And I said, dude, and I had to say to him, if not for you, for your family. Right. Because like I said, when I was laying in bed and I was looking at Mo, and I said, God, I don't want to leave this planet and it's my fault. That was the thing. That was what it, I understand accidents. I understand all of that stuff. Old age, but I don't want to leave here and it's my fault. It was me. It's because of my stubbornness and my selfishness. So, and it's and I understand, Thurston, like, again, even though I say all of this right now, I don't want to sound like I got it all together, because I don't.
Absolutely, Red. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, yep. I've been doing okay, but I should be doing way better. You know, I could share a whole lot more, but I'm with you, Thurston. It's like it is. We don't change sometimes because, man, we like to do what we like to do. We like to eat.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a lot of times we see that other people are in worse situations. So I'm not like that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
But let me run upstairs and tell my wife to throw away the pork chops. don't cook no pork chops.
Well, listen.
And don't cook no white rice.
No pork chops and no white rice.
No, I had the conversation with our
rice, baby.
I had that conversation with our good friend Chris Pitt a couple of years ago. Chris is a vegetarian. He's a trainer, and he was going on and on. expressing about how food is not good for us and the benefits of being a vegetarian. And I told him, I was like, Chris, I can appreciate all of that. I can appreciate everything and all you learn. And I said, and I'm learning from you and other people, but I'm not going to go and say that I'm going to take on your lifestyle.
Right.
Now I'll try to be more wise about the way I eat and taking care of myself, and maybe implement different things and fast from things more often. But I'm not going to go to the extremes. So for most people, what makes sense, most people are not going to go vegetarian. Most people are not going to be vegan, going to cut out all juice, going to cut out all soda totally, but to use wisdom in the way you do it, and don't do it as often, and just try to use some sense in the way that you eat. Yeah. And that's what I learned. My mother was a nutritionist as well as a cook. And, I remember when she told the family that we're not going to eat any more white bread. And we thought she was out of her mind.
Right.
And then and so slowly but surely she started pushing it in, and now to this day I can't eat white bread.
Wow.
I can't eat it. It's always whole wheat. And she did the same thing with, we're not going to drink soda anymore. And we all looked at her like, now this woman really lost her mind. There's no way we're not going to have a Pepsi.
Right.
And now to this day, other than pretty much a ginger ale mixing in, and if we're making some sort of punch or something like that, soda does not exist. And I brought that into my family, my kids for the most part as well. So I mean, you can make changes. Absolutely. You have to do it step by step, and use wisdom in the way without going the full extreme way, one way or another.
Right.
Yeah, I learned that one thing is that two things I look to is that one is obedience is better than sacrifice, always. And I realized that with obedience, that's God's way of protecting us.
Yes,
absolutely. You learn that. I mean, so like Mr. Reggie said, you can either do it this way, or you could choose to go this way. But one way is going to have really a lasting effect on you.
Right.
So sometimes, I mean, even in your own household, sometimes, as a kid, your parent would tell you stuff. Don't do this, don't do that. And they don't really give you an explanation why not to do it.
Yep.
But now maybe because they sense something, but they really don't know. They tell you don't go to that park. You go to the park anyway. Then all of a sudden something breaks out.
Right.
And then you make it home, and then you trying to find out, well, I told you not to go to the park. But because that obedience, now if you would have been a listen and obeyed, then you would never got caught up into nothing. So sometimes we don't realize that. So, and then when y'all were talking about all of this and the diabetes, I'm always go back to my former pastor, Archbishop Brown, who lost both his legs.
Wow.
And again, because the warnings come, because see, anything that happened can be reversed. If you change your habits, if you change the way you're eating, your eating style, we heard Brother Darren Hobbs talk about how when he changed his eating style and he started losing all his weight, he's no longer taking insulin. He's no longer this, his high blood pressure, all this stuff. It starts to change because your body is equipped to heal itself.
Right.
Randy, can I cut in? I want to share one thing because you are hitting it. When I was let go out of the hospital, I went to work on myself, right? For the next 3 months. Because when I went back to the doctor, me and my wife went into the doctor's office. We sat down, and the doctor was explaining to me what happened to my body. Because at one point, Randy, I was at work. This is the day that Monique came to pick me up to take me to the hospital. She couldn't see me because she said I was losing weight. I was looking like a former sense of myself. That's what she said, right? My clothes were falling off me, right? I went to sleep in the sanctuary, in the back of the sanctuary one day because I was so tired. And when I woke up, I felt like if I got up, I wouldn't be able to walk. That's how heavy my legs felt. And I was literally scared, right? So my wife took me to the hospital, and I said, babe, I'm driving. And she said, no, I said, babe, let me drive just so I could feel my legs. I didn't want to not drive, you know? I drove her to the hospital and everything. And the doctor said if it would have been like a day later or 2 days later, I would have been in a diabetic coma, right?
Wow. Jesus.
And so a few weeks later, I go back. They want to see how my results have been. My sugar came way back down. I was trim. I wasn't eating no junk and everything like that. But I couldn't take the shots. I couldn't do, you have to take a shot, one pill for your levels to go up, one pill for your levels to go down. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I remember saying, God, I don't want to do this. Right? Now, this is 3 months later. But before the 3 months came, we went to the doctor after 3 weeks. I sat in the office. The doctor is explaining to me that my pancreas had died. Now, at that point, one, I didn't know what my pancreas was, right? I was like, what in the world? What died in me? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I need it? Do I still need it? Is it dead?
Wow.
Freaking out, right? And she said that it was actually working overtime to pump out the sugar in my system. Jeez. That's why I was going to the bathroom so much. But the word death bothered me. Wow. Right? After she said that, Randy, I started to hear, remember Charlie Brown, the teacher? After she said, your pancreas died, I started to hear, womp, 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 right? I didn't hear her no more because my mind went all kind of places. And then God spoke to me. Now, when I say God spoke to me, I heard God's voice. He said to me, Reggie, do you trust me? I said, yes, Lord, I have to, right? And he said a principle that pastor says to me. That he said to
Keep
us.
going.
He said, cast judgment on the old and embrace the new.
Wow.
Right? You need to change. And if you change, I'm going to get you off the insulin.
Wow. Because
what they're telling you is not true. You don't have to stay on insulin. Because the doctor was saying, you got to stay on this stuff for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
You can't miss a shot. You got to take it at the same time. That stuff was freaking me out. I said, Lord, and when I heard God speak, the first thing I said is, God, I don't want this to be you only because I don't want to do this.
Right.
But you know when God speaks to you.
Absolutely.
You know, right? When God is speaking to you. Right? And since I remember the first time, I didn't try to get off on my own. I actually forgot to bring all my medicine.
Wow.
One day I went to work, had a full productive day, and that was the last time that I had it. Maybe going on a year, 2 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've never felt any, my sugar never spiked or never dropped low or whatever. I feel, and I'll say this one last thing, Randy. And the reason why I said that, when I heard you say the pastor lost both his legs, man, I stepped for a living.
Right.
So
right.
I step for a living, you know what I'm saying? And when I was laying down in the back of the sanctuary and I couldn't move, I had the image of not having my legs.
Wow.
That's hard. They say that the thought of death is almost worse than the actual, death itself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just to know that it's a possibility that you won't. And I said, Lord, I can't put myself in that position. And you have to. So I'm sorry, Randy. I just had to share that.
No, it's okay.
You turned all that out of me.
Because I was just, like I said, I was thinking about it, and a lot has to do with you. You can't blame anything on anybody else. It's you. That's bottom line. And like I said, the warning comes. You go to the doctor say this is going on, this is happening. You don't take it seriously, or either you do take it seriously, but you don't change your habits.
Right.
People don't help. Because you the pastor of the church, and the saints still bringing you sweet potato pies and chocolate cake. And
Lord.
They bring you all the stuff that you don't need, and they know that you're struggling. But see, this is where the test comes in at, because you got to learn to build up the strength to reject it.
Right.
You don't have to eat it. So again, you can't blame it on anyone. And sometimes we check ourselves out. God don't check us out. We check ourselves out because we don't do the things that we supposed to do. And my thing is, when the doctors are saying, listen, this is what's going on, man. I go cold turkey. That's the way it is. When I was drinking a lot of coffee, I was drinking coffee, 3-4 cups a day. And all of a sudden, I started getting these sharp pain in my head. And I'm like, what's going on? So then this brother, I went, and the guy forgot the doctor that's got the thing on the head and all this kind of stuff. And they did this whole thing, and that had MRI and see if anything, because I'm thinking aneurysms, and I'm all thinking all this stuff was going to happen. So then it was Brother Michael Wilkinson that said, "Man, do you drink a lot of coffee?" I said, "Yeah, I think about 3-4 cups." He said, "It's the caffeine."
Wow.
And so instantly that day, I went cold turkey for about a month. I ain't drink no coffee. No coffee at no nothing with caffeine in it. And the symptoms stopped. So you can, if you desire to, really want to, I struggle with a lot. I'm not a person that pig out. I don't eat a lot. I try to cut down on my sweets. I'm not a person that loves sweets. I don't eat cake. Pound cake is the most thing that I would like. I like plain pound cake. I take the icing off and just eat the cake, that type of stuff. And that's about the extent of my sweets what I eat. I snack on little things in here because we have what we call a junk cabinet, with all kinds of stuff in it. So, but every now and then you go in there and you start munching on stuff. But for the most part, it's not like that. But it's just something that you, as a person, especially as you get older, and your system starts to change on you. So you have to do a lot of things to try to boost your metabolism. You got to boost a lot of things to make things work and stuff like that. So, but when I heard about the first time that, that Archbishop Brown lost his leg, his first leg, because the first day, they start chopping pieces off. And then they just said, you know what, man, we got to take the whole thing. So they took it above the knee.
Wow.
But didn't change his habits.
Wow.
And that's why, Reg, the doctor can tell you that you're going to stay on insulin for the rest of your life because they base it on behavioral science. They know right. That when, more than likely, like Randy said, you get older, but by the time you get older, you're stuck in your ways. There's no way you're going to change. And most people don't. And they're just going to keep going right down that tunnel, right down the rabbit hole, and until it's too far gone. So you just have to be wise enough to make some changes.
Most people don't because they won't. That's the truth. Yeah. Most people don't because they won't. Randy, I was laughing when you talked about the pastor taking the food from the saints, and this bishop was up preaching, and he was talking about how he and his wife learned to get around that. He said, and what forced them to find a creative way to get around is because one time one of the saints brought them something, and the taste of it was so horrendous that they was leaving here. So they put the thing in the garbage compactor. And what they realized was, okay, if the person comes and asks, "Did you like it?" they're going to say to them, "Yes, it hit the spot." They would know what spot was the garbage compactor. So from now on, they got a standard policy. Oh, Lord. When the saints bring them food, okay, and later on the saints say, "How was it?" "Oh, it hit the spot. It hit the spot." And the garbage. And so, as a pastor, you find ways. Now, here's the way. I try to bring the saints along my journey. It was inevitable that I was going to become a vegan. It was inevitable.
Okay.
Because I had been making all these health changes all along. you know, stripping away the soda, stripping away the pork, this, that, and the other. I did away with refined sugar desserts in 2010 before I became vegan and switched to vegan desserts then. 2 years later, I pulled out chicken. And I've always brought the saints along. The way I got them to leave me alone about pork, is that pretty lady? Is that?
Yes, it is, sir.
Oh, I know that face. I know that face, man. So the way I got them to leave me alone about pork was I was teaching on Mark's Gospel, the 5th chapter, Legion. Okay, the Gadarene demoniac. And what happened was I was showing them how after Jesus said, "Who are you?" He said, "My name is Legion." And he asked to go into the pigs. Okay. So I told the saints, I said, now every time you have a Oscar Myers hot dog, every time you have bologna, every time you have spare ribs, I want you to remember that's Legion.
Lord,
no offense, Deacon. No offense, Deacon.
I'm looking at Legion on the plate over there right now.
I'm
looking at a slice of Legion.
And some of them, I remember.
I'm gonna lay hands on those legions, and I'm casting them out. I'm gonna cast them out, and I'm gonna cast them down.
Listen, I ain't mad at you, but here's what happened.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And who was it? Was it Reg? You talked about the voice of the Lord. He will speak to you. I think that was you, right? I started having, 4 years ago, I started having problems eliminating meat.
Wow.
It was becoming very uncomfortable. It was becoming very problematic to eliminate meat. And so I spoke to the Lord, and he said, "You're going to go vegan." I was like, "What?" He said, it wasn't like I went happily. I don't want y'all to think I just, praise the Lord, I'm going vegan.
Right.
Like, whoa, can we talk about this? Because see, lamb chops was my favorite. I tell people I love the lamb. I love the lamb. That was my favorite. And so he was like, no, he said, "You gonna give it all up."
Wow.
I was like, okay, God. So, and like, I think it was like Randy said, when I go cold turkey. So I was like, okay, if I got to give it all up, then it's all gonna go. The dairy's gonna go. This is gonna go. So I just went straight vegan.
Wow.
And what happened was, a month later, I went and had a colonoscopy, and the doctor found something. Okay, now it wasn't serious, and he was able to take care of it. But then when I researched what he found, come to find out, it could be dealt with through a diet that's vegan based.
And you had already started the diet.
Because I did what? Obeyed. Okay. Randy quoted the scripture earlier. Has the Lord his great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, than to hearken to and to hearken than the fat of rams. And so what happens is, you have to make a decision. Like I said earlier, what is the opportunity cost? What is the opportunity cost? What is this going to cost me to go in whatever direction I'm going to go in? And the opportunity cost is my health. And this is what I realized, Reg. For some of us, it's not going to matter. We're doing it for our families. We've got to decide to do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
We've got some of us, unfortunately, that's a reality. When you say to us, well, do it for your family. For some of us, that's not going to be enough. You got to decide, I'm going to do it for me. Yeah. And guess what? I'm the only one in the house that's vegan. Only. Okay. But listen, I'm used to standing by my side. I'm by myself. I'm good. And, and I'll mess with them. I'm like, yeah. And me and my wife have this ongoing thing. She'll say, what is it? I bring up one, the leaves on the trees are good for the healings of the nation. That's what I'll go. And then she'll come back with, Jesus said, "Children, have you any meat?" And we go back. we go back and forth. So I just leave her alone. But one thing my family has noticed, they have noticed how it has benefited me. And I think this is what Vaughn was trying to say. You got to find your health lane.
Yeah. And
stay in it. But many of us don't even want to try that.
Right.
We don't even want to think, okay, well, what is my health lane? Okay. Because I'm not so crazy as to think, as much as I would like to, because I'm convinced of the health benefit. I don't think everybody can go vegan. Okay. But I don't believe that all of us that are experiencing the health problems are supposed to be experiencing the health problems that we are.
No, we're not.
I believe this book that we live by. Okay. And Jesus said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And I believe he meant what he said. He didn't say, I came that you might have church. He said, I came that you might have life. Okay. And he said, I wish above all things that you what? Prosper and be in health, even as your soul. So then why can't we enjoy that? And for me, I like to change the wording a little bit, because what does Dr. Bernard say? He who controls the language controls the conversation. That's what right? And I like to change it a little bit. And sometimes I like to say, instead of privilege, opportunity. Because privilege has this connotation that already has exclusion to it. Okay. But opportunity has a greater reach, and giving the right circumstances, more people can get access to an opportunity as opposed to privilege. And so my thing is, look, take advantage of the opportunity. And this is just me. It could be naive. It could be narrow, whatever. But I believe at some particular point in time, God will bring the opportunity to your doorstep. But the thing is, are you going to answer the knock?
Are you going to answer the knock?
And too many of us act like, we don't hear it. And it's like, some of the things that have been said are typical examples of like little things that happen in our lives are the knocking. Randy, it was the coffee.
Right. Right.
Thurston, yep. And listen, there are days I miss the lamb. I love the lamb, okay, with mint jelly. And listen, that gorgeous woman that just slipped in here for me, that woman can cook, man. That woman can cook. Okay. And when she would pull the lamb chops out of the freezer, I start giving God glory and speaking in tongues, because I knew it was on. Okay. And so listen, there's days I miss it. But the problem I had when God told me to go vegan, I rarely see that problem anymore.
Wow. So what kind of jelly was that for the lamb?
Mint jelly.
He remembered that recipe and everything.
Lord. But also being vegan, it's a lifestyle that people choose to live.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is that we got to understand is that the problem comes in because, which we learned, balance is the key to life. And it's even balancing the key to eating.
Right.
Some people pig out on pig.
Right.
They just love pig.
Right.
And I don't believe that, that it's all bad, but it's because you eat so much of it.
Right.
That's where the problem comes in at. When you eat too much of anything, and that's all that you eat, too much beef, too much pork, too much whatever, it's bad for you. Because even they say, now from my understanding, doctors say that you need to have some meat for certain things, for iron or stuff like that. So certain meat that you have. So some people won't go all vegan. They might just have some fish. Some might eat a certain type of chicken.
Right.
But I think it's about the balance that it is, and not overdoing it. Even with the sweets, all the sugar, all the things like that. When you have too much, because after a while, if you've been off sugar for a long time, and then you decide to taste something with sugar, it tastes funny. It's like it just throws your whole system, your taste buds, make them go crazy. So you kind of like, I don't even want it. Now for me, like I said, I was drinking a whole lot of coffee, but now I still drink coffee, but I don't drink it like I used to drink it.
So said, everything in moderation. Everything.
Moderation. And that's what it boils down to. So some people can handle it, some people can't handle it. But the thing is that we have to learn to listen to our doctors, listen to our bodies, because our bodies will definitely tell you that there's something's going on and there's something's wrong.
Yeah.
And if you don't listen to it, then you're gonna pay the price. So even though people say that eating healthy is expensive, but it's even more expensive not to eat healthy.
It is. It is.
You know, because I'm sick and tired of going and giving these doctors co-payments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got to go to the doctor 5 weeks. 5 days out of the week. And I get it with a co-payment every time I go.
There it is, right
there. Come on, one co-payment should cover me the whole week.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord.
Wow.
So Vaughn, you chime in.
I was gonna ask Pastor, since the church ladies know not to bring him sweet potato pie and fried chicken, do they now bring you like an apple and bananas?
You know what they'll do?
Because the church ladies got to show their stuff. So
they got to do something.
You know what they'll do? They'll they'll give me a gift card to Whole Foods or something.
Okay, all right.
They're just because they know. Listen, they know Pastor's very funny. Even this is going to sound strange, but I do my own cooking.
Okay.
As great of a cook as my wife is, I understand that because Randy, she hasn't necessarily embraced that lifestyle. Why am I going to put her under the duress and pressure and stress of having to cook 2 different lifestyles? So listen, I'll cook my own, and I've gotten very good at cooking vegan. I mean, I've gotten really, really good. I've given her some of the stuff I made. She was like, "Ooh, that's good." Oh, so you ready to join? Did you get the revelation yet? She said, "No, don't get crazy."
It ain't that good. It's not that good.
Don't get crazy. So, so they've learned, how to work around that, and they respect it. And here's the thing: anybody who's known me for any length of time sees the benefit of it, and that's the thing. If you can't see the benefit of what you're doing, then it's not for you. Okay. Gentlemen, I used to be 30 to 40 pounds heavier than what I am.
Wow.
It's hard to conceive, right?
Wow.
One of these days, I'm gonna bring a picture of myself when my second daughter was she wasn't even a year yet. Okay. And my wife and we have been married 2 years. When people see this picture, there's you don't even look the same. You don't even look the same. Part of my health journey was this program called Way Down Workshop. And it was by this Christian nutritionist. And she showed you how to tap into the body's natural weight control system. Okay. A lot of us are overweight because we eat at the wrong time. What is wrong time? Not recognizing our body's hunger signal. It really doesn't have anything to do with the time of day. That's a misconception. It's when you're actually hungry and then pushing past full. So I went on this program and I lost radical weight. And the saints started whispering I had AIDS because I was a church musician. And they thought, okay, now we see what he's really about. It done caught up with him. In other words, they was inferring that I was on the down low.
Don't take us into another conversation. Don't take us into another conversation.
And so
as you're talking about losing weight, Patricia said, that is a blessing to me. You know what? I can't stand y'all. I can't stand neither one of y'all. Neither one of y'all, man.
So let me finish. So here's what happened, man. I took all this weight off, right? And just to show you our thinking, some people could not embrace me being in good health because of the way it looked.
Wow.
Not realizing that my energy level went through the roof. Reg, you talked about that. My energy level went through the roof. And then people, because church folks, we all upset about masks now, but church folk been wearing masks for years. Okay. So I learned how to mask it and put on clothes, and you would have never known it. And my clothes were literally drooping off me.
Wow.
All right? And so from there, I began to take my health in a totally different vein and became very serious about it. And then when the saints made cracks, the Lord told me how to answer them. He told me to tell them what you see happening in the natural is indicative of what's going on in the spiritual. I'm learning how to lay aside the weights and the sins that so easily beset me. Then they would leave me alone. Then they would back up. Okay. Oh, we're not going to mess with them now. And so it's been an ongoing journey. And the health benefit, I just can't stress it enough, the health benefit. And so the saints have learned because they watch. Mm-hmm. They watch. They see what it's doing. So they listen, pastors in good, because most people want their pastor to be healthy.
Of course.
Right? Would y'all agree?
Of course, absolutely.
So they see the benefit, so they respect it, they don't mess it, and then they protect it. Because now if somebody from the outside comes in and they come in some kind of way, oh no, we don't do that here.
Right.
We don't do that. Matter of fact, one of the saints of our church, she had went through something in her life, and because of what she went through, she took it upon herself. I'm gonna watch out for my pastors and make sure it doesn't happen to them. You know. So to answer your question, Vaughn, they celebrate it, they cover it, and they respect
come on,
it.
sis. He says, "Come on," but I am on, but my camera's not.
Is your camera working?
Can you guys hear me? My camera. I'm trying to get my.
Great. We can hear you great.
We can hear you well.
See you.
Oh my gosh!
So
Hold
listen,
on. You know, I have.
You go back out and come back in, I'll let you right back in.
There you are.
Beautiful. Hello, sis. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I miss you guys so much. It's so awesome. This is like one of course, my favorite topics.
I know this is right in your wheelhouse. Yes.
You and Mom.
It's a part of the journey. Like, I'm no expert, but hearing you, Darren, Minister Darren, talk about, you know, I was like, oh, they have a vegan on? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Because when you hear these things, usually you just hear people, you know, vegetarianism and eating more veggies. But to be a Christian and to also, you know, have the experience of being vegan is a very specific experience. You know, to have someone commit to that, which is so rare and different. Yeah, I was very intrigued by the show. So I just love that you guys are talking about this. I've been vegan for 9 years.
Wow. I was just about to ask how long you have been doing it, and you and Mom do it, right?
No, it's just me.
It's you, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought your mom was vegan as well.
No,
okay.
So basically she doesn't eat meat, but she'll eat fish.
Okay.
Pescatarian. And I was pescatarian for 16 years. I was a long distance runner, ran a marathon, and then it, like you said, Mr. Darren, it was like God pointing all of these different things in my way. I never thought I would be vegan ever. I always was a standalone, different type of eater in our household. The only person that, you know, only ate fish. Meanwhile, everybody else was eating, you know, chicken and all that other stuff. But when it came to veganism, I never thought that would be me. And I do think that it is something that, like with everything in your life, it's either God is calling you to do it, you know, or calling you to experience it, or to have balance. You know, I don't think that it's something everybody has to do, but it is a really unique experience, and it has really been a blessing to me. I was always allergic to dairy. You know, I definitely have always enjoyed athleticism, like you, Minister Reggie, dancing and all of that. So when God kind of took me on this route, I could feel the change in my body, like immediately. I stopped eating dairy and stopped buying fish for 3 months because I was just trying to save money. And Thanksgiving came around that year, and I had one spoonful of ice cream. One spoonful of pumpkin soup that had dairy in it. And I woke up the next morning with really dark circles under my eyes. My throat was scratchy. My nostrils, my nasal passages were all clogged up, like to the max. So, so I was like, okay, Lord, I guess I'm doing this. And then a couple of months after, our mom injured her back. And I was playing documentaries about like meat and all this, and she decided she would take a break from dairy and meat, and she felt like a change and just the way her body healed. And I would say that's definitely like just been my experience. For anybody that's interested, you know, and feels like God is kind of maybe wanting you to try this out. It's just for a period of time. One of the things I've noticed is my bounce back, my immune system, the way my body heals, the lactic acid buildup in my muscles, all of that has been, far superior than it was before. Wow. So I just love that you're talking about this.
Absolutely, Reg. Go ahead.
Well, you know, hey, Leilani, thank you for sharing, right? But something struck me too, you know, kind of going back to what Pastor Darren said earlier about, you know, it has to be more than just your family. It has to be about yourself. Mm. But I also know that some people live in denial, right? Because you can be experiencing symptoms and those symptoms are telling you initially when I was going through, I started going through what I don't know, I shared this before, I think. When my body began to shut down, it started the day after we prayed for Elder Pointer, when Elder Pointer was about to take a trip.
Wow.
His health on the health journey for like 3-4 weeks. I remember laying hands on him. The next day, my body shut down, right?
Wow.
But I ignored the symptoms. I kept ignoring the symptoms. And I remember I couldn't ignore them anymore. I couldn't ignore them. And it's like, you almost know what needs to change. Yes. I remember sitting down and I looked at the fridge. I just looked at the fridge, right? And I got up and I started throwing stuff away. Just instinctively. Nothing, nobody told me to do anything. I took the bread. I said, this bread is killing me. I took the juice. I put it all down the drain. I used to be, what's those simply?
Oh man, they're so good, Reg.
You can ask Monique. You can ask Monique. When Monique went to the store for me, she had to buy at least 10 of those things.
Wow.
She was the only one that used to drink them. You know what I mean? Not one. She couldn't come back with 1 or 2, but come back with 10 of those. They got to ask me, you know. But I remember pouring all of it. I said, this stuff is killing me. But I also know that sometimes people still ignore those symptoms. One, maybe out of fear, like, you know, I'm already here. I'm not going to change, you know? And so it takes a certain kind of drive and a fight to know that you can change.
Yes.
You know what I mean? For that to get into that, you know, I thank God because 2 things changed for me, right? I remember, I think I shared with you guys before, and I don't want to be too long. When I went with my wife to see an exhibit, and we parked far from where we had to go, and I caught an attitude because the walk was going to hurt me.
Wow!
I was overweight, and walking hurt. You know, your sides hurt,
right?
And I caught an attitude, and my wife, Monique, thought I had the attitude because I didn't want to go see the exhibit with her.
Wow.
So it was messing my relationship because I was too embarrassed to tell her I just don't want to walk that far. Because you know, you spend time looking for parking longer because you don't want to take that walk. But then I remember when I lost all that weight, me and her was walking everywhere. And I was having the time of my life. The other thing she enjoys is that I don't snore anymore.
Wow. That's awesome. So hold on. Let me take a quick break, guys, because people are definitely chiming in. And again, we appreciate you guys so much. Louisa, she said, I love vegan. So let me start up here. Louisa says, I love vegetarian food. I tried vegan food, but that's not for me. And like you said, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. She says, I love vegan desserts though. So I posted something, I guess maybe a week or 2 weeks ago that Erica had started, you know, making vegan dishes. And I was surprised at how good they tasted. And so she had started, you know, implementing them, and we had started doing like the first, well, I'll say she started doing the first 3 days of the week, all vegan, no meat, no dairy. And the meals, so she bought 3 books. It was Darius Cook's book. Is it Eric Adams? I think he has a vegan book.
Eric Adams, the brother president?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Russell Simmons, I think he has a book. I read that book.
Right. So she started making these dishes from the book, and it was really, really good. It surprised me. Of course, I haven't made the whole transition, but it's funny how God works, man, because y'all know we didn't have any definitive subject to talk about today, right?
Oh, right.
So let me just say, y'all really get on my nerves how God to convict me, right? Because listen, I know something has to change, and this is the thing. I've never gotten to the point where I've been hospitalized or I've even had any drastic physical ailments.
Thank God.
I've generally been in good health, but like you said, Randy, you get to a certain age, that weight doesn't come off like it used to come off, and I've continued in the same way. So I know that there's this is God speaking, saying, listen, make the change you need to make now. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be vegan, but balance and making sure that you, get the exercise, eat better. And the beautiful thing is, my wife encourages it and she makes the things that I need. It's just a matter of me taking advantage of it. So listen, I thank you guys. I thank you guys for all of your sharing today. And you're right, Darren, it does, going all the way back to the beginning, how we talked about personal responsibility. And even though I came back at that and said, there are certain things that we have to deal with in our communities and so forth, I think now as I hear you guys talk about it, it's important that we have these conversations in these settings with our people talking about that personal responsibility. And then when you're in front of leaders, government leaders, senators, whatever, you have that other conversation about this is what we need in our community. But I think sharing that part in a setting like this sort of gives people an excuse, right? Gives them an excuse to say, well, I would do it if, they gave us the right things in our community. So listen, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate your balance. I appreciate you being transparent about your walk. Everybody online. So let me share this again. Let me make sure I share this because I do want us to really build up this platform. So now that we're streaming live to Facebook and to YouTube, please, guys, if you are able to go to the YouTube page, you see it on the screen there. It's Living Out Loud Radio YouTube. So like the video, subscribe, and tag the bell so you'll get notified whenever we go live. And on Facebook, you can go to my personal page, Thurston Daniel O'Neill, or you can go to Living Out Loud Radio TV page to watch the show and like it and all of that stuff. So please do that for us. And of course, what time is it? It is 5:49. So we got 10 minutes to wrap up, guys.
Well, you see my smart aleck wife with her little comment.
Wait, what did she say?
She put in the comment, tell Vaughn we're having a salad for dinner tonight.
let me show it to everybody. It's funny. We were just
listen. I always have peanut butter and jelly on standby. So
that's actually a good standby. It's funny. We're talking about this pork and all of this, and we're in Costco today shopping, and of course, I picked up because Costco has this thick cut bacon. It is so good, man. So I just picked up a pack of that. I'm not taking it back. We're gonna eat that bacon. We're gonna do it in balance. We're gonna balance it out.
But by the way, Thurston, they have this bacon. It's called benevolent bacon. Have you heard of it, Leilani?
No. Do they have other meat brands? Benevolent beef or benevolent?
I haven't seen.
Maybe I've heard of it.
Actually, it's called benevolent, but I think it's by Sweet Earth or Sweet Farms or something like that.
Okay, I know that.
Oh, that bacon is phenomenal.
What is it made of?
It's plant-based.
Okay.
It's plant-based, and it mimics the other stuff. I call it the other stuff. It mimics it, but it doesn't take long to cook. And the one thing you have to be careful about with vegan foods and plant-based that you don't overcook. Okay, you have to be very careful about it. And because you can be so used to cooking the other stuff for so long. But when we talked about our communities, you know what I thought about, Thurston? In Spike Lee's Malcolm X, there's a scene where Malcolm is giving orders to the Fruit of Islam, the security division of the Nation of Islam, and he steps to this area. It's this huge area where it's like in a square or whatever. He steps to a podium and he points his finger in one direction, and they all turn. And I think it's the guy's supposed to. I think he's supposed to be playing Hoover, and he says that's too much power for one man to have.
Yep.
And the reason why I thought about it was when you said, when we go to our community, when we go to our leaders, if we could take certain levels of personal responsibility and get it down packed and then move on a united basis, it would get folks' attention.
Absolutely.
And either we wouldn't have to ask, or we wouldn't have to do a whole lot of asking.
Right.
And so the balance of the personal responsibility, we're not just being personally responsible just to be personally responsible. Because as you're talking, and it took me back to, see, my mother was a nurse. Okay. So there were certain things she already understood. And as you're talking, I'm saying, well, you know what? What can I do to help the ones that he talked about, the marginalized ones,
right,
who are at a disadvantage, okay, and can't get to the opportunity to begin. So I'm going to really start thinking about some creative ways that I can be an influence to help them close that gap. And I think that's where these conversations come into play. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want to ignore any of the sides. We don't want to ignore the side about, the community aspect, but we don't want to ignore the side either, where it comes down to an individual basis. Okay.
Absolutely.
And, just to hear, Leilani say she's been a vegan for 9 years. I mean, that's very encouraging.
Yeah.
That's extremely encouraging. So, I'm really blessed by that aspect of this conversation. A seed planted. There's a lot of work for us to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work, man.
Yeah, I wish they had an overnight version so I could drop those 30 pounds real quick. But it takes some time. No, I do. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. You see Adrian's comment. God's not through with us yet, Thurston. Share that bacon with us. Yeah. We got Vaughn and Adrian. Christmas coming up. So. But I do. I appreciate us, man. I appreciate this platform because it's always something that's really, we can always build each other up. We can call each other on the carpet. We can be transparent. We can agree, disagree, but it's all that we all come out better in the end. I believe. I truly do believe it. And we are modeling the kind of conversations that we want other brothers and other sisters to have with one another. Because this is the beauty of this platform. We allow everybody to be themselves, right? We allow everybody to be themselves. Talk how you want to talk. Say what you want to say. We agree or we disagree, whatever. That's fine. But at the end, I think we're all better, and we can all, see someone else's perspective, which is beautiful. We're coming down to the end right now, but this is a great conversation about personal responsibility. I love it. So I'm gonna start, and hey, Leilani, since you're with us today, have your final words for the show.
Oh, my final words. Health is a gift from God. Mm-hmm. Don't take it for granted. And just whatever he tells you to do, he has He has your best at heart, and that includes your health. It's going to help you fulfill your purpose, whatever it is.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, sis. And thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you. Really, really. Thank you for coming on. Randy, you're next. Final words. Nope, can't hear you. What happened to your other one? You had another one on. All right, set that one up. I'm gonna come back to you. Reg, final words.
This was awesome. You know, thank you, Thurston. I always thank you for just setting up this platform. And you're right. I always wanted to be, you know, we're Christians, right? We love God, but we're not. We can have conversations with anybody. It doesn't matter what I speak or anything. And I'm grateful for a platform like this because you don't see it much.
Right.
You don't see it much. You know, there's a lot of platforms out there. Some great platforms, some not so great platforms. But I'm grateful for this one because it allows us to be ourselves, respectful, open, and just thank you, man. I've grown to love everybody on this platform. I've known Delani for quite some time.
Right.
My mom, her brother, and I thank God for this platform.
Praise God. Thank you, man. Thank you, Reg. Thanks for being with us, man. You always add so much wisdom and balance to the conversation. I appreciate you, man. I really do. And before I move on, the girls, of course, they were in church today, and of course, you were giving a word. And I guess in the breakout rooms, actually, I don't even know if they can hear me now. Girls, are you here? They must be upstairs. But during the breakout room, they said there was a question about the ghost in the how many ghosts were in. They're running to the room now.
Okay.
How many? What was the question? Come on over, Jay.
It was how many ghosts were in A Christmas Carol? And I thought the answer was 3, and it was
4. You know, the sad thing about it is I don't think I ever saw the Christmas Carol.
Oh, so, okay. So they came to me right after the answer over here. Right, I thought it was 3.
Past, present,
future.
What's the other one?
The Holy Ghost?
The Holy Ghost, because it was a church.
The Holy Ghost, right? That's what I thought. I was like, the Holy Ghost?
So
I think it might have been. I'm gonna look it up. I think there might have been like a bad ghost, like maybe you know, because all those other ghosts were just that, right? Past, future, present. But I guess there was a death ghost or a ghost about
the Grim Reaper, right?
Something like that. Yeah, maybe. But I like that. I just don't remember. You know, I never seen the movie, so I read the
look it up. I think they went to Google to try to find it too, and they said they couldn't find it. They only found it.
That's great.
They made me promise that I would ask you before the show was over today. So that's your answer, guys. He doesn't really know.
Searching.
They like to get their points for their correct answers.
Right here. Okay. There was the 3 ghosts, and then there was the ghost of his former business partner, Jacob Marley.
Okay, 4 ghosts.
Wow.
Former business.
Oh.
Yeah, his former business partner.
What?
There you go. That's the 4. All right. There you go. You can get everything on Brothers Like Us, man. You get the answers to all your questions. Pastor Darren, final words for you, man.
Okay, that 4th ghost was Scrooge's co-worker, and he died. So he was the first ghost, because when he saw that, that's where it all started.
So he was the ghost that was taking him around?
He was the ghost to let him know that he was going to see some ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Jacob Marley, yes.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Beautiful.
It's a classic.
It is, absolutely.
I just watched it with my kids in cartoon form, so it was great.
Amen.
All right, so Patricia, make sure he makes some room for you in that room, because we're gonna have the wives on soon for a conversation about our love stories. So make sure he makes some room for you, so y'all could be just like that, all beautiful. And all these public displays of affection, y'all know. People don't do that, you know, right? Y'all know that, right?
Okay, we'll try to accommodate you.
No, please. We love it. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Pastor, any final words?
I just had it. I just had my last words.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. We love you. Vaughn, final words, man.
Well, again, anybody who has to make the changes, I tell them not to be fearful and just think about doing it incremental. Whatever changes you need to make in order to improve your health, because when you look at the big picture, it looks like it's too much.
Yes.
But it's a step-by-step process, and God will take you down that path. And maybe you'll go to the full extreme of being a vegan. Maybe you won't, but you'll be making the steps that you need to do to improve your health.
Yeah.
I wanted to say one thing, since we're talking about health, every time we're on the show, you see me drinking. I'm always drinking Hit water. I'm trying to get us a sponsorship. But this is one of the things for my family's sake. I have a subscription to Hit water, and we have a monthly delivery of different flavors that comes in, and I think this is a good change that people can just simply do, and without drinking all the Simply drinks, which I love as well, Reg.
Right. Excellent. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you very much, man. So there was one other thing before I go to you, Randy. Two other things. Leilani, I think you were part of this post when we were talking about dreams of being an extreme vegan. Like, like I'm like, what does that have to do with it? But some people don't wear leather, right?
Correct.
Wow.
Yes, correct. There's a whole bunch of different sects of veganism. So you can be cooked vegan, meaning you eat anything, it can be cooked, or what, you just don't eat meat and dairy. Then there's raw vegan, so you just eat raw vegetables, nothing cooked. And then there's junk food vegans, so they do the vegan pizza and the vegan chocolate cake and all of that. But there's a lot of different sects of veganism, and I was kind of making the comparison between vegans attacking each other the same way Christians will look at other Christians and be like, oh, you're not a real Christian, and it's really just like, well, what is it about anyway? It's someone's personal journey. That's someone's personal walk with God. Yes. Like, I see you doing something I don't agree with. Okay, I'll pray about it, but I'm not in that. I'm not in that walk in the same way I'm not in Vaughn's health journey. I'm not in anybody else's health journey. I'm in my own, so it's just like pointing out those similarities and
I love it.
To stay humble.
Randy, I think we're getting feedback.
Yeah, something's going on.
Randy, you're a mess.
Something's going on, man. And the last thing I was talking about vegan was I don't even know the brand, but there's this cheese that we've been using, and you basically have to put it in the oven like it's a baked potato. It takes so long for it to melt. It's like ridiculous. I forget the brand name, but Erica bought it. Being extreme, but
nasty stuff.
I forget the name of it. But
is it Dia or ViaLife?
It's one of those. And I'm like, what?
It's probably Dia.
Yeah, I'm not into Dia anymore. But
really? Okay.
Where you at, man? They changed.
Hold on. So, Randy, I see you. Is your volume on? Nope. So I guess the last time you spoke was your final words for the show. Listen, I love you guys, man. I love you all. It is 6:05. Thanks for coming on again, guys. And thanks for all of the people that joined us online. We're excited about the new platform, the new way we're able to share. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Facebook Live on my personal page, as well as our LOL Radio TV page on Facebook. So we appreciate you guys. Please go to the YouTube page and subscribe and become a member so that you can get notified whenever we go live. And we're building this thing, of course. We want to eventually get sponsors, but not really so worried about that now. We just want to really be able to share information with our community and with our people, however big or small it becomes. You know, when we share what we talk about here with others, that is growing the community. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right.
Leilani, give Mom a hug.
Yes. Tell Mom.
No.
Thank you, Leilani. Thank you.
Guys, so
Bye,
have a
guys.
good week, guys.
Take care, brothers. Love
All
you
right.
guys.
Bye-bye.
This is just a little song to help you get off on the right track today. Or maybe it'll just help you recalibrate. Take your mind off all the stress that's going on around you. Come on, you ready? Let's go.